Hi yogis. Another amateur video coming at you. You know, it's funny, last year I actually purchased a tripod and little setup to make one of these videos, and now I can't find it. So I'm here talking to my phone, which is stacked up on a pile of books. Hope you guys are all doing okay. If you want to comment below on how you're watching this or where you're watching this, or send a photo of yourself doing yoga at home, I think that would be very encouraging for me and the other fantastic Taiga teachers who agreed to make some of these videos as well. We closed the studio today, the 18th of March. It's really difficult to discern what information is accurate and what we need to follow as individuals. And to that end, Taiga, we don't want to be another voice, another opinion that's not based on fact. So all we want to do with these videos is create a space for you to do a quick yoga practice. This one will actually be 20 minutes. I won't pretend that I'm going to create a 45-minute video just yet. Just a 20-minute amateur video here. I'm still marveling, you know what, I'm marveling at the national unity that this COVID pandemic has created. I find it really fascinating that all of these businesses across the country are banding together and choosing to close in the absence of information. We really don't know what the future holds or what the repercussions of this the pandemic and then the subsequent business closures will be, but there is this national unity where we're choosing to come together and close our businesses and see what happens. Just sit tight and see what happens. And it reminds me of this quote from my teacher, Tina. She got the quote from someone else. In times of trouble, run to the rescue with love, and peace will follow. And that's what we're trying to do at Taiga with these videos. We're trying to run to the rescue with love, with just yoga, just to do some yoga in your living room, or maybe it's warm enough to go outside today. Run to the rescue with love, and peace will follow for all of us. Come on up to the top of your mat. As always, I really like to start with sun salutations. They move the whole body through a range of motion, and for me, there's no better way to get my mind and my heart in one place just while I start my practice, all alone with a pile of books. Bring your hands down to your side. Take 3 deep breaths here. 3 sun salutation A yogis, 3 sun salutation A's, just checking to make sure I don't cut my head off again in this video. Inhale, your hands up towards the ceiling, look up at your hands, fold forward, hands to the mat, exhale. Look up, breathe in, step back, chaturanga, exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog, exhale, 5 breaths in downward facing dog. Gaze lifts first, followed by your feet. Step forward, lengthen, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Stand all the way up. Inhale, reach up and look up at your hands. Pause, hands at heart center. Second round, reach up, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Look up, inhale. Step back, exhale. Lift up into a back bend, inhale. Press back to an inversion, exhale. 5 breaths here. Look to the top of the mat. Step forward, lengthen, look up. Exhale and fold. Stand all the way up. Inhale, reach up. Pause with your hands at heart center. One breath. Second round, third round, reach up, look up, inhale, fold forward, exhale, look up, lengthen, inhale, step back, chaturanga, exhale, upward facing dog, downward facing dog, be completely still, take 5 breaths. If you can, focus just on this moment. If you need something to hold your attention, look at your toes. Look between your hands, walk to the top of the mat, step, look up, lengthen, fold forward, exhale, come all the way up, inhale, and reach up and look up. Pause for a breath, hands at heart center. 1 round of Sun Salutation B. Sun Salutation B builds extra heat. It starts to incorporate back bends into the practice. Start in chair pose, Utkatasana. Knees are bent, gaze is up towards your thumbs if you can. 1 breath in. And fold forward, exhale. Look up, breathe in. Step back to Chaturanga, low plank. Inhale, up dog. I'm still in the shot, press back, down dog. Step your right heel to the ceiling. Step through to warrior 1. Back foot is at about 45 degrees. Hands reach up. Look up if you can. Pause. Hands to the mat. 3-legged chaturanga. Right foot hovering. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Lift your left leg to the ceiling. Bend your knee. Step through warrior 1. Rise up. Look up. Exhale, hands come down, step back, 3-legged chaturanga, left leg hovering, up dog, breathe in, down dog, breathe out. From here, we'll add on to that warrior 1 sequence, starting with the right leg. Lift your right leg. 3-legged dog, gaze under your right arm. Point your right toes. Flex your right toes. Point and flex. 1 more. And then step through. Right foot firmly plants down on the mat. Hands sweep up to the ceiling. Look up. Clasp your hands behind your back, deepen your back bend, look up. Humble warrior, fold forward inside of your right foot, right thigh. Come halfway up, breathe in, fold deeper, breathe out. Rise back up to warrior 1, inhale. Open the window next to your mat for some fresh air. Bring both hands down to the mat, 3-legged chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Left leg to the ceiling. Stack, bend, point and flex your left toe. Step through, firmly plant your left foot. Rise up, warrior 1, press your palms, look up. Clasp your hands behind your back. Inhale as you look up. Exhale as you fold forward. Come halfway up, look up. Exhale and fold. Warrior one, rise up into the back bend, look up, open your heart up to possibilities, reach up, look up to your hands. Both feet, both hands down, three-legged chaturanga. Upward facing dog, pause here. Hands are underneath your shoulders, looking up to the ceiling. Roll over your toes, press back to downward facing dog. Take 3 deep breaths. As you inhale, lift up onto your tippy toes. As you exhale, press onto your heels. Inhale up onto your tippy toes. Exhale onto your heels. One more, lift. Press your heels down. Step your feet to the top of the mat. Lengthen, look up. Exhale and fold. Feet together, knees together, chair pose. Bend your knees. Look up at your thumbs, palms together. Hold. And stand up. Hands at heart center. Inhale your hands up to the ceiling, side bend. Come back to center. We'll do it 3 times each side. Come back up as you breathe in. One more time. Inhale, exhale. This time interlace your fingers, press your hands forward and up and lift up. Lift your heart up into a back bend. And then fold forward, clasp your hands behind your back, halfway lift, look up and lengthen. Exhale and fold forward. Keep your legs strong, your feet firmly planted on the mat. Tuck your chin to your chest. Hands come down to the mat. Slot your whole hand underneath your feet. Look up and breathe in. Exhale and fold forward. Release the grip on your feet. Stand all the way up. Inhale. Bend your right foot. Hook your foot with your hand. Stretch forward into some version of dancer. So it's a little back bend, a little balance. Hold here. 3 breaths. Both feet down to the mat. Other side. The knee that you didn't have surgery on is more stable than the one that you did. So start with the unstable one. Find grace and ease on the second side. Both feet down to the mat. Sweep your hands up into a standing back bend. Use your strong legs to support your back bend. Fold, exhale. Clasp your hands behind your back. Look up and lengthen. Both hands down to the mat. Step back, chaturanga. Lift into up dog. Hold, back bend. Roll over your toes to down dog. 3-legged dog. Step your right leg high. We'll make some space here. We're going to flip the dog to wild thing. So right leg is high. Land your right foot on the mat. Open up into wild thing. Take a deep breath in. Come back to 3-legged dog. Right leg is high. Rise up to a lunge. We're going to stay in this lunge for 5 breaths. And each exhale, just deepen your back bend slightly more. You can interlace your hands behind your head. Press your head into your hands. Imagine you're creating resiliency in your heart and in your mind, and you're open to the possibilities. Whatever the next hour, the next day, the next week, whatever it holds, you're open. Reach your hands up, deepen your back bend one more time as you exhale. Both hands come down to the mat, Chaturanga Dandasana. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, up dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana, down dog, left leg to the ceiling. Flip your dog, wild thing. Lift your left hand up and over. Come back to three-legged dog. Left leg is lifted high. And then 5 breaths in a progressively deepening lunge. Reach your hands up. Exhale, both hands down. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Lots of back bends followed by hip opener. Right leg to the ceiling. Set up for pigeon. Right knee behind your right wrist. I always like to lift up into a back bend first. So kind of press the floor away from you. Straighten your elbows. Slowly curl up. Lifting your chin and your gaze. And then as you exhale, lengthen forward and take the weight onto your elbows. Back bends and hip openers, they go together like mass hysteria in social media. Like peas and carrots, they go together like peas and carrots, right? Hip, stretch, tuck your chin to your chest. Plant your hands. Downward facing dog. Right leg lifts just for length. Right foot down. Other side, left leg lifts. Pigeon, Ekapada Raja, Kapotasana, King Pigeon. So the modified King Pigeon is to lift your chest, look up, and then exhale, fold into the shape. Just stay with me for 5 breaths. You can check your phone in a couple of minutes. Right now, you're just practicing yoga. Whatever you need it for, here it is. Plant your hands. We're not going to come back to downward facing dog. Just pivot, just drop onto your left hip. Extend your right foot around and over. Nestle both sit bones down into the mat. Lengthen your spine, breathe in. And then after all those back bends, take a twist. So you're twisting over your right shoulder. And really take your time. So start with your low back, and then your middle back, your chest, your shoulders, and finally your chin and your gaze, they twist to over your right shoulder. Come back to center, just a little derotation to the left. And then just switch your legs. Nestle both hips down. Squeeze your left knee into your chest, sit up tall. Right arm wraps around your knee, and you twist. One section of your spine at a time. And now do nothing except listen to your breaths, 5 of them. Come back to center, derotate slightly to the right. We'll close with a couple of back bends and an inversion. I really like to attach meaning to the back bends. I like to imagine that they open up my heart and my mind to any kind of possibilities. And the more that I say that to myself, the more I start to believe it. Some of these things are kind of imaginary, they're a bit vague. But if you say it to yourself again and again, you attach some kind of meaning to your yoga practice, eventually it'll come true and it'll shine through in all the other parts of your life that you need it to. So for me, back bends, I imagine that they are creating space in my heart and in my mind for any kind of possibility, for resilience, for whatever it is that I need from them. Just checking that I'm in the shot. Lay down flat on your back for a little bridge. So first, reach for your heels with your fingertips, and then move your heels slightly out of reach. Press down into your feet. Press down equally into both feet, and lift yourself up, lift your hips up, walk your shoulders underneath you, clasp your hands. If you feel strong and stable here, feet are weighted equally, you could extend your hands up and over your head. Take 3 breaths. Lower your hips down to the mat. Exhale. We'll do one more like this. This time lift up. This time, if you want to add on to your bridge, bring your hands underneath your hips, fingertips pointing out. Lift up onto your tippy toes. You're creating a slightly deeper back bend, more possibilities, more resilience. Lift your hips high, lower your heels, release your hands, clasp your hands behind your back. 3, 2, and one more. As you exhale, lower down. 3rd and final back bend, either into bridge or wheel. If you want to come into wheel, reach your fingertips up to the ceiling. Plant your hands beside your ears, just above your shoulders, fingertips pointing to your feet. Lift up onto the crown of your head. Weight is equal on your hands and feet, and then straighten up into wheel. 3, 2, and then 1, lower down. Exhale. Just let your knees flop together. Let your hands come up and over your head. Soften your face, soften your jaw. Be at ease. Final pose is a supported inversion. Find a wall, shuffle yourself up and over to it. Legs come up the wall. Viparita Karani, it means active reversal. This is sort of a passive inversion. I think I'm in the shot. Feet are extended up towards the wall. Just lay down with your hands on your belly and take 5 breaths. Count them. And now count 5 more. Just take your time. We're going to sit together for a moment. Get yourself back up out of your active reversal, your Viparita Karani pose. Sit however you like, on your knees or cross-legged, and just bring your hands lightly to rest on your lap. Run to the rescue with love. Peace will follow. You can use that as a mantra, run to the rescue with love. A mantra is just something that you can use to guide your meditation. It's generally bestowed upon a student by a teacher, but sometimes it's your own intuition and your own experience that creates a mantra for yourself. So if there's something that springs to mind right now, use that as a mantra, some sort of phrase or guidance that pops up in your mind. And if not, then use mine, the one I'm using for today. Run to the rescue with love. And just let that phrase sort of take shape and hold in your mind. Let it bloom. And then just sit here peacefully. Run to the rescue with love. Stay where you are. I'd like to close our time, our little practice together with my harmonium as always. So just stay there for a moment. Just like at the studio, my friends, always been rushing in with the harmonium from teaching at the daycare or teaching at the school, clanging around, setting it up before we close the class together. Honestly, playing the harmonium has been my version of yoga for the past couple of weeks. It's the power of sound cannot be overstated. If you can, join for 3 ohms. That's all we'll do for now. If you can't, just sit there quietly. We'll close our practice. Tricky without the studio to ohm with me. Just lie down in Shavasana. If you can't quiet your mind, count out 10 breaths and then get up and proceed with your day. Thank you, yogis. Run to the rescue with love.